Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the first full week of June, another week in the simulation, another week to play at the game of life. Every single week in the month of June, we have a planet leaving one sign, entering another. So every single week, we're going to have this theme playing out where we are finishing up, wrapping something up, putting the finishing touches, the bow ties on top, and focusing our energies into building out the next phase of something or the next new thing. The first week, Venus moves into Taurus. The second week, Mercury and Jupiter move into Cancer. Third week, Mars moves into Virgo. The fourth week, Mercury moves into Leo. And then the first week of July, it's Venus moving into Gemini. So there's a lot going on in the month of June. And we've been talking about this moment in time on the channel. If you guys are on YouTube, hey. If you've been on YouTube for a while, you know that we've been talking about this literally since September of 2024. So there are a lot of energies that have been just such a long time in the making that are closing out, that are putting their just, we're bidding adieu, farewell, and that new vibration that has been taking shape, that we're putting structure and form around. We're doing that this week as we move towards the full moon next week, and a bunch of crazy stuff next week is even busier. But it's also going to be, like I said, like your summer project. Summer project. It's like, remember that 9-month tunnel from fall 2024 to spring 2025 was dark and creepy, but you guys are out of it now. So it's now that you see your Camelot, you see the new state, you see the future, you have your preferences. This week is kind of like you're making some last valuations. Like we needed to have the crazy lunar cycle of May with all the Iranian energy. We needed the disclosures, the whistleblowers, the revelations. We needed the information to come through. We needed to see it play out a certain way, down a certain path. This is a week where I feel like the days are kind of broken up into their own little mini silos. Like I feel like Monday and Tuesday are like about getting things the way we want it. The moon is in Virgo. It's very much like ordering things, like putting things in order, making adjustments or cuts on Monday, and then maybe focusing more on purging, purifying, releasing on Tuesday. Wednesday, there's some kind of escalation where something gets either taken to the next level. You want to be the responsible one. You want to be the one that's like being mature, the mature one always, but like really very much so on Wednesday. But that escalation, some people are going to, that's why I say you want to be the responsible one, because some people may really be very triggered because of the new, it's something that's met with like a lot of resistance. And then something about that escalation of vibration, like in the middle of the week, leads to some kind of plot twist. I feel some people are going to have like a plot twist moment Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday could be a plot twist based on recent discoveries. We needed that 𝚑𝚕𝚗𝚎. What was that, like last Thursday? We needed the big reveals, what I called it last week's elevated astrology. So it could be anything from the 𝚑𝚕𝚗𝚎, from maybe the middle of May when we have the full moon, maybe the last few months since the retrogrades that took the entire winter to play out and into the spring. So it's like, because it's Venus. It's Venus. Venus is at the end of Aries where she retrograded and just ran over the territory. So it's like, then going into Taurus Thursday night, that plot twist based on some long valuation, it's almost like you make your decision, you're going to leave it at the store. And if you leave it at the store, you're at peace with it. It's going to shine for somebody else. Or you're taking it home. And if you're taking it home, you've made peace with yourself about the little gremlin, taking it home, and whatever is beyond that gate. You know what I'm saying? So it's very much, now for some people, it's like, I'm not taking this. It's the last straw. This is what I really think. This is how I really feel. And then just shutting the phone off, taking a bubble bath, and tuning everything out. I'm like, okay, I did all of that kind of cleaning, because Venus going from Aries, that's like, it's like warrior energy. That's like, very, very serious about getting those comfort needs met, or those desires met, or I want peace, but I'm very much willing to throw a freaking tantrum, like, to get the peace. You know what I'm saying? Going into Taurus, which is so comfortable. Venus and Taurus is just like reclining, eating your bonbons, and everything that is just so familiar to you. That whatever's comfortable, whatever's familiar, whatever's like, just like relaxing and comforting. So it's like there's one last little stand, there's one last valuation. So it's like from February 4th to March 27th, Venus was in Aries. And then from April 30th until June the 6th, Venus in Aries. So we're like done with this back and forth valuation, sense of worthiness. For some people, it's like, I've been putting up with this. What was I even thinking? And then, okay, now I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can just enjoy what I love to enjoy, Venus and Taurus. But they got confused with the Venus retrograde, thinking maybe I do want this, maybe I don't want this, or I feel like this about myself, or I feel like that about myself, or I want to take my brand or aesthetic in this direction or in that direction. Like, we may see people making some weird aesthetic decisions this week. But it's like when we get Thursday night, when Venus enters Taurus, we're like, this is what I believe, this is what I feel, this is what I want, this is what is worth what to me. This is the standard, this is the thing. And like I said, it could be like a plot twist. There could be something so strange about some of this, with Venus going back into Pisces, with the whole, with what this whole thing was, this whole canal, because it's all interconnected. So it's like by Thursday night, there could be great feelings where you feel great about leaving it at the store. You feel great about taking the little gremlin home. You feel great about, you asserted your self-worth, your self-respect. You set your prices. You did the thing. You know what I'm saying? You made this, you're innovating your career in a new way. Whatever it is, you may be like, okay, boom. I feel good about this. It's been reaffirmed. It's been reaffirmed. I feel like I'm in a good place. And then for other people, they may just be feeling like maybe a little bit confused. And if some people are not happy with the future, it's already have taken shape. People can already see the form that it's taking. So if people haven't been able to have an appreciation for the changes, then that Venus going into Taurus is going to be kind of confusing. And that's going to go back to the Saturn and Pisces, or the Saturn and Neptune energy in Aries, which is going to be active this week, where people are kind of like surreal, where it's like, I can't believe it, but it's happening. I can't believe it, but they're there. I can't believe it, but it's here. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. I have to stitch this. I just remembered. That's why I have not washed my hair. I was out having fun. We had our first 𝚑𝚗𝚎 in-person telekinesis meditation. So if you are in the Chicagoland area and you are an 𝚑𝚗𝚎 on Patreon, the gateway, the payment portal gateway is like $11.11, and you want to learn like lucid dreaming, astral projection, telekinesis, all of the cool stuff. We're meeting in person and we're practicing. I'm keeping it very, very light. So it's like a 20-minute meditation, and then it's like 40 minutes of like hanging out, comradeship. So let me know, send me a message and hop on. So the Saturn and Neptune energy and being in the sign of Aries, some people are like, I can't believe it, but it's real. I can't accept it, but it's happening, So it's like that Venus going into Taurus. I feel like everyone's going to get a lift. Everyone's going to feel like, even if something they didn't feel went their way, they will have like support. They will have, family to lean on, or something. There'll be something there for people. Friday is a lot of arrivals of the new vibration, and all throughout this week could be arrivals of the new vibration, but more so towards the end of the week. which is again going to be either very triggering for people or very healing for people. Saturday and Sunday could be very difficult for some people because of that. It's like very educational, but people could be triggered with like power struggles. Saturday, Sunday is either going to be an appreciation of the change, like so happy about something new and different, having seen the shape of how the new thing is taking what shape that is. Or some people are going to be super, super triggered and going to be engaging in power struggles, or they're going to have some increased power struggle internally. Sunday is especially educational. Sunday, people are going to be like realizing something was either hiding in plain sight or something is actually like a much bigger deal than they thought initially. Like you thought it was like a little thing, and it turns out to be like a huge deal, like a huge thing and important. I feel like that was a long overview this week. So let's go ahead and break this down day by day. Monday, June the 2nd, we have the quarter moon, the waxing gaining in light quarter moon in Virgo. This is, we're ordering, we're thinking a lot. People are really thinking. And when the moon's in Virgo, this is where this is eclipse territory, eclipse, maybe not eclipse energy, but just this is where you've got to let go and release and trust and surrender. And especially in the sign of Virgo, release very tight judgments and analytical restrictions, but it's kind of necessary in this moment. So let yourself make the cuts, let yourself make the adjustments, let yourself, or even, you're working on something consciously or unconsciously. So something is almost done. Something Monday, there's just a few things left to do or say or talk about or sign, organize, file. It favors the cutting, the releasing, the culling, letting things go. Just what is that called? Like just like getting rid of the seedlings that are just struggling. You're gonna water and give more of the resources to the seedlings that are showing some strength, that are fighting for their lives, that are, the strong ones. So let yourself purge to purify and purge so that you can focus on what is growing and what you want to continue to grow and what strength you want to support. So Monday, if your thoughts are getting away from you or if it's very anxious, don't let that get into irritation. Some people are just going to be irritated on Monday. There's going to be irritated. There's going to be like, so don't be irritated. Take a break before you need it. Monday and Tuesday, including mental health breaks. Take a break before you need it. Put your orders in, whatever you're like wrapping up or culminating, finishing out so that you can start on something. It's just like a busy day. Getting it together or accepting something is starting. So you're either, and it could be a little bit of both because this week has this like huge ending energy, but also like you're building towards something. So Tuesday, June the 3rd, more ordering, the moon's in Virgo, but more of a focus on releasing because the moon's going to meet with the South Node in Virgo, and that's a release. That's taking something off of your plate. Make it something that you were previously worried about or worrying about. The Virgo anxiety, just break it down piece by piece. Take care of what you can take care of. And then when you get to that edge, that boundary, let the rest go. Why worry about how someone's managing their feelings? That's out of your control. That's like insane. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make any sense. So let's like do what you can do. Text them a little funny joke or a meme or something. Show your support, send them love, let them know where they stand with you, and you give the. But if they want to be, but if someone else is just committed to just being a little stink face, then just you can't control that at all. It's completely out of control. So just let it. You know what I'm saying? So, but just release something. Maybe it's like a health issue, maybe it's a worry or a fear or being very critical or analytical about something, or just let it go. Tuesday. Bruce Lee said it's about not the daily increase, but the daily decrease. And that's another thing. It was like, guys, I've been a teacher and instructor so much of my life. It reminded me of when I was teaching kickboxing. I was in a dojo like 6 days a week. I was teaching kickboxing and I was also getting belted. I was in classes. I was in Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. So I got up to brown belt before I sustained an injury and I had to stop. So doing like leading classes of in-person meditations, I'm really excited about that because that's just like me being an educator and an instructor, it's just like, that's like the vibe. So yeah, it's gonna be a great summer, very great summer. Tuesday evening, if you're releasing, letting something go, accepting something, it could even be like a good letting go of like, I release worrying about this and I'm accepting something. It would be a great thing to also stretch, do something physical for yourself. Take a bubble bath, something of that nature, Tuesday evening. Now we get to Wednesday, and this is where I'm detecting a tweak in the force. Like this is like there's an escalation of the vibration. You want to be the mature, responsible one on Wednesday. There's going to be some needed like judgment calls. There's a lot going on with the moon. Venus is sextiling Jupiter and Gemini, which is really important because Venus is going to leave the sign of Aries on Thursday evening. So this is like the last discussion with a mentor about your progress. This is the last touching base with a friend or a family member or an elder that you respect about what do I do in my career? What do I do in my relationship? What do I do in my family? And getting the perspective that you need after having looked at everything since maybe February for some people. And if this is really for you guys connected with the Venus retrograde, this could be an issue that's just been going on since like the end of January, maybe as far back as January. But Wednesday, it's like the wisdom is there, or even just like internally where you are connecting the dots, but you have all the dots now. By like Thursday night, you have all the dots with this like valuation. Wednesday, people are either feeling very confident, like maybe there's even like a confirmation of support. Like this person is in my corner. This is, I got an approval to continue doing this. The permit came through. It's like a continuation, confident energy. For some people, it's very mundane and it's like an exaggeration of gossip or some kind of like where it loses itself, where it just loses its train of thought. So it could be a lot of like nothing energy, or it could be a lot of chewing on something with somebody that you respect or something. However, there's also this energy on Wednesday of this, it's the moon in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries. There's this like almost like a new boss sending their first email, or an awareness. There's gonna be an awareness of what something takes on Wednesday. The escalation of vibration is also showing and revealing like where everything is, where it stands, where people stand, and kind of like seeing the bigger picture and it's helping you cogitate and make your judgments on like the past few months, like judging the year 2025 from the beginning up until now. And then later on, there's like a trigger later in the day, Wednesday, which is either an understanding of why someone's ending something, why something is ending. It could be touching base. Well, we're ending the pilot program because they're not doing what I asked them to do. And I just got my proof. I just saw it with my own eyes. But maybe the retrograde from February until now is like, you were wondering, like, are they really doing what I'm asking them to do? Are they really executing the plan the way I wrote in the manual? And maybe you're like wondering, going back and forth in the retrograde, but like by Thursday night, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this change. So it's either that kind of awareness of like what it's going to take, or what something takes, or where something has been falling through, and then some people are triggered in all manners, or it's some kind of empowerment. Some people are feeling like they're regenerating. Some people are going to be feeling like, see, I like this. I like this moon Saturn. I think we're going to really like, especially when the moon goes through Libra every month. Well, for a little bit until we get Saturn in Aries without the retrograde back into Pisces. But looking over at Saturn, it's like in the relationship, touching base, like what is it going to take? And I feel like with this energy, with Saturn and Aries, they're going to tell us, and how much of a relief that Libra wants to please. We want to make people happy. We want to meet the standard, and that we actually get a detailed breakdown or something. And it's like, I can do that. Thank you. Thank you for just telling me what it takes to make you happy. Thank you. Now I know what to do. Now I'm just going to go do it. Now, some people are not, it's not going to connect like that. on Wednesday. Some people, it's like, no. You know, some people, everyone's in their own little bubble, okay? You guys here on YouTube, you guys are amazing. You guys here on the Patreon, you guys are freaking rock stars. There's different perceptions of reality that everyone's living in. And you know, some people are going to just feel pretty depressed on Wednesday. Some people are going to feel triggered and threatened, and the escalation of vibration is going to be more like resistance. So you want to be empowered. You want to be empowerment on that side of things on Wednesday. Thursday is where we get into that there could be a plot twist kind of energy. There could be a plot. There could be something based on recent discoveries along this long valuation. Because while Venus is out of the shadow, I feel you always just feel such a shift when they actually leave the sign where all the shenanigans are in. So the plot twist could have been because of May, the wacky lunation of May. It could have been because of these retrogrades. It could, whatever, recently or very recently, there could be a plot twist that just clicks for people. Something could just click. Mercury is doing some things. It's the moon is doing some things. Like it's just on Thursday. And when the moon is in Libra these couple days, it's helping. The circumstances are all for the purpose of helping Venus finish out this shenanigan tour through Aries and Pisces and through the retrograde so that Venus can move on. Everyone's moving on. Everyone gets to move on. You know, everyone's gonna be moving on, but maybe not everybody in the same direction. So there for some people may be a plot twist where there's lots of discussions that could be very fateful, but like necessary. Like the discussions that we are having on Thursday are helping to chart out the new course. So it's like, it could be kind of surreal, like, whoa, but they're like necessary to open up and talk about to get you to the next thing or get started or make progress on the next thing. Things may go into a new direction based off of some plot twist that would be based off of some recent revelations and discoveries on this long, crazy odyssey. So by Thursday night, Venus will move into Taurus at 21:43. This is all Pacific time. This is like relaxing after the mic drop. Like you just told somebody off and then you shut your phone off and then go and like in your bubble bath. Or that's about it. That's about it. It's like there's this last stand. The valuation is complete. You're confident in your judgment, whichever way. But I feel like it's going to be kind of loud. Venus leaving Aries, like that's bam, bam and energy. Like that's why I like Saturn in Aries, because I feel like, well, at least we're going to know what we need to do. Saturn and Pisces is like, follow this like it's just so, it was so, you know, whereas Saturn and Aries is like, boom, 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 just do this. Here we go. I'm a writer and I like structuring. I like to see the bones of things. So I can appreciate that. But so I feel Thursday could be loud. Wednesday and Thursday could be like escalation, plot twist land. Relationships could be exposing. There's also going to be like new people. And that's the thing. It's like the new vibration is going to include new arrivals, wave after wave. And this month of June, every week is a new wave of new arrivals. So, you know, it's like new people, new stuff and plot twists and things. So it's just, I feel like you're going to feel good about it though. Like you guys will be feeling good. You guys will be feeling good about it Thursday evening. Friday, June the 6th, more arrivals of the new vibration. People are going to be triggered, or it's going to be very, very healing. Mercury Chiron on Friday. And then we have a lot of Moon and Libra stuff. Like Friday is probably like really having to face something like the new is much more like in your face, I feel, on Friday. Saturday and Sunday have a different vibe. Saturday, June the 7th, triggers power struggles. For some people, appreciation of all the changes taking place for other people. Sunday, the 8th of June is very educational. Mercury, Jupiter in Gemini. This is like a very big dose of thinking about everything. Like the Sunday, everyone's going to be thinking about something or everything. It's like we're going to be thinking and talking. Some people are gonna be gossiping, but like it's like thinking in all little details about everything since last year, specifically the last 12 months. Recently, of course, the last few weeks, last few months, but this whole year, this is like in the Gemini area of life, your education is really completing because on Monday, Jupiter moves into Cancer and has different things to teach us. So this is like not only encapsulating the last year of the education and expansion in Gemini, but also helping Jupiter complete and end a 12 or 13-year cycle in your sign of Gemini. We're internalizing, we're talking it out. Something's delivered. We deliver something. We have the final thing, final conversations about things, final pieces of the puzzle falling into place about something. For some people, this whole week is going to be about like the other side of the story being integrated for understanding. For some people, Sunday could be a big day for that. And whatever is taking shape, we're setting the stage for the summer. We're setting our summer agenda. This on Sunday is a big deal because Mercury and Jupiter are hosting the nodes of fate and destiny, and they're in conjunction in Gemini. Like it's very fateful. Like I feel like for some people, it's really going to come together. This is like, I don't want to encourage tobacco use, but this is like having something on the on your back porch at night and like looking at the moon and just like thinking about your life, like, oh, I get it now. Like it's, or like a cup of coffee or something. Like it's just very, it could be a turning point on Sunday. Sunday could be a huge turning point where like all of a sudden, wow, I'm kind of excited for that. That looks like either really creative or connections are being made, or maybe it's just like a really nice conversation with somebody, or just, it's a lot of thinking though, a lot of thinking. Okay, that is the week in a nutshell. Readings are back to full price. Meta Month's discount is officially over. So if you would like to Zoom one-to-one with me with the option to record, I always encourage it so that you can watch your readings back later. You can avail of those at my Stan store. Link is in the description box below. To learn how to do all of this yourself, remote viewing, lucid dreaming, astral projection, telekinesis, I teach all of that for $11.11 over on the Patreon. The link is also in the description box below. To see live in-person telekinesis demonstrations, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube, the TikTok, and Instagram for your chance, and possibly even be featured in the upcoming documentary. I'll see you guys again Thursday, Friday for our tarot reading. Until then, my lovelies, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.